Okay, let's finish off these guys, and let's finish off the last one, and then we can... Okay, once more. And what the hell? Vercingetorix, look how many spears he has. And he keeps surviving, just... What the hell is going on? He's just not in the mood to die today. What the... Come on, game. What? He runs off? What the fuck is going on?
Capture the enemy base or kill all enemy forces.
Hello and welcome everyone. Today I want to talk a bit about Leonidas. I've played him on this channel before and was really impressed by his potential. This is why I want to help you to understand Leonidas as a commander and as an enemy on the battlefield. And how could I do that better than playing Leonidas for you? So here I got my spearmen loadout. We're trying to help our artillery, but apparently this artillery doesn't want to be helped and rather be run over by the enemy cavalry. Well, it's always a bad idea to run away from your infantry when you need support. And this artillery is also not set up so well. Well, we are not having a great start, but I'll give everything to make this work somehow. We send one of our spearmen units into the enemy lines to distract them a little bit while we try to tidy up our base. Fight in the shade. Let's see where this is going. This is definitely a terrible start, but right, you never give up, right? You should never give up. There's more cavalry coming in, and if we can defend well, then we might have a chance. Okay, this is... oh god. One of my favorite questions. Is a home run a viable strategy with Leonidas? Since Leonidas doesn't have any ability to improve the movement speed of your unit, he's definitely not a good base rusher. However, with his optimal unit type, the Greek Spearman, you can place a solid defense once you arrive in the enemy base, which is very helpful against cavalry units that you can usually expect to come to decap you. Furthermore, Leonidas with Spearmen is very strong in melee combat, and well protected with his ranged attacks with his Fight in the Shade ability. So if you don't make it to capture the enemy base, you will put a good amount of pressure on the enemy team. Plus, you will have an advantageous position to fight the enemy if they come and try to decap you. In my opinion, definitely go for a home run if you feel like it. Unless the enemy has artillery, you will most likely help your team with the sole attempt. After all, the home run strategy is not only aimed to win the game directly through base capture, but also a good strategy to put pressure on the enemy team and make their units split up into an attacking force and a defending force. And as Leonidas, being outnumbered is not a real issue. Okay, so this unit is probably going to be lost quite soon. I managed to kill some of their cavalry, some of their horsemen. And now I will probably be busy to... yeah, this guy's gone. Now I will probably be busy to place my remaining 2 units to defend our artillery. And yeah, there's already cavalry coming, and there's more cavalry coming. Open the phalanx in time. Lucky, lucky, lucky. This is exactly what I was planning to do. Unfortunately, our artillery didn't set up their catapults on a well-defendable position, instead at the main entrance, which is a terrible decision. What I really love about the Spearmen with Leonidas is fighting cavalry. I assume everybody who watches this understands that Spearmen have a great advantage over cavalry, and are one of the strongest counters to them, but Spearmen with Leonidas are just brutal. Due to the shield bash ability, Leonidas has the highest damage output playing the Greek Spearmen, and when you find open combat with enemy cavalry, they are lucky if any of their horsemen survive the encounter. Let's get back to our not so great match with Leonidas. The enemy infantry and archers are pushing into our base, and I think this is a great chance to open our phalanx and make use of the beautiful abilities that Leonidas has to offer, like Shield Bash, and eventually hold the line when our phalanx fatigue goes too high. Oh, beautiful! So many blue numbers popping up. That is what I enjoy a lot about Leonidas. The damage potential is unusually high for any commander. And maybe we protect our artillery a little bit while we chase these archers. But to be honest, I do not think the best of our artillery, due to their very poor positioning in the beginning of the match, that has put us in this stupid situation where we, Leonidas with 2 units, have to defend our base versus 3 infantry units and 4 archer units in our base. Well, at least I get to show you some melee combat with Leonidas. Right here we open our phalanx and then we activate the Shield Bash ability. And the damage that you can see makes the whole story a lot better than just being run over by cavalry all the time. This is beautiful to watch. So we're dealing a lot of damage right now, and our cavalry ally is supporting us to get rid of these archers in time. Maybe, well, okay, no. I think at this time, at this point, it is safe to say we're going to lose this match. But let's see how many more infantry players and or cavalry players I can get to the edge of extinction before we lose this match. After all, we have done quite well so far. Unfortunately, we are... yeah, it's just sad, you know, seeing this. This would have been an amazing victory for me and kind of deserved. Anyway, there's cavalry coming in. We have some ranged units to defend. Okay, at this point I was a little greedy and sent my spearmen rather to attack the already surrounded archers of the enemy. But here we are, kind of supporting now, and eventually we can rid of some of their cavalry. Oh great, yeah. Almost destroyed both of these cavalry units, and there's already more to get to. If we are lucky and the enemy mainly has cavalry units left, then we might actually have a good chance here. The idea right now is protect our cavalry and our ranged units with our spearmen. Oh yeah, what I want to make absolutely clear, Leonidas is more a defensive player, more a defensive commander. And that is because he's strong in melee combat, he's slow, and he is a great threat to any attacking units of the enemy. For example, these cavalry units that have just been thriving through our base, ripping my teammates apart, and are now at the edge of extinction, where I would rather like to keep them. And for now, it seems like even my commander is going to survive this, while the enemy cavalry is being smashed from all sides. For some players it might be interesting that with Leonidas you can get a really high score quite easily. How? You hold up your shield and wait for archers and slingers to shoot you. At least when I had to play like this in order to stay alive, the score went insanely high. And it is time now to send our troops towards the enemy base. We have cleared our base of all enemies, but just to be sure, I will leave my commander in the base and eventually defend or decap our base versus all incoming enemies. My javelin ally is with me, and we are on the way. So we're almost here, and we have to make sure that our javelins are not being run over by their cavalry. So I will try to stay close enough that I can intervene as soon as they try to charge them, while at the same time I want to be a threat to their pikemen. So they open their phalanx. Now my javelins can shoot them as long as they can't hold up their shields. And now I'm here to defend. Okay, well, I have drawn my second unit, my commander unit, with us to the enemy base. Oh, great. Yeah, my javelins have just gotten rid of this enemy. And now we can try to run for their catapults. That should be a lot of their manpower. So if we can get rid of them, we might win by default if the time runs out. And yeah, I have to keep this balance between attacking and defending my javelins. If you ever play the Spearman with Leonidas, make sure to be a good teammate and help your allies out, because you have the best tools for that, and they are often vulnerable and helpless. So now, yeah, it seems like this cavalry player is not really in the mood. I don't know why this guy is sending his artillery engineers now against me. Now we have a second spearman unit. Okay, and he's not in the mood to charge into me anyway. Yeah, it's kind of complicated to hold this deal between attacking, defending my javelins, defending against the cavalry that might come in any moment now. And okay, he forgot to bring out his pikemen phalanx, his pike phalanx in time. His last pikeman unit. And this is why it's so important to keep your ranged allies alive, especially javelins. Their damage potential is insane. There were almost 3 full pikeman units in their base, which we have gotten rid of right now. And if you look at the top counter, we have come from having less than half the amount of manpower left than the enemy to, yeah, the numbers are even at this point, and we are capturing the base. And oh my god, my score is heroically high. This is probably one of my best matches ever. And this cavalry at this point will probably attack. So we open the phalanx. Yep, he has no other choice than doing that. And successfully decaps us a little bit, as I just realized their artillery is shooting at us. Yeah, they had artillery units here, which made me lose some of my men right now. Kinda sad. As soon as their... yeah, and now their cavalry is gone. So they will not have anybody to spot for them, which is really great. Oh, I don't know, should I go this way? I think I will send my small unit out there. I mean, if their artillery is not at the end of this line, it should be somewhere outside. We have really turned the tide on this battle. The tables have turned. This is amazing. And why did this happen? We did not give up, we did not surrender, we didn't leave the battle into AFK mode just because we're miserable over the defeat that we were expecting. We stuck on to the battle and we were fighting until the end. We were decapping our base, now we're capturing the enemy base. And the team play, this javelin player was doing God's work in our base, and we were helping him to stay alive, which is equally helpful. And yeah, at this point we have won the game. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The best match I have ever played. The best victory I have deserved. Wow, I'm really surprised, and I'm very happy to share this with you guys. And yeah, it was not the first victory of the day or anything, so this is just base XP. Wow. 4,000 aggression, 5,000 capturing, and 2,000 defending. Taking a screenshot right away, and yeah. My match with the highest score so far was also with Leonidas, but that was due to the many archers that were focusing me that day. In total I came to 13,069 points, and with that very same match I achieved level 69. Pure coincidence? Maybe. But that day I also saved a child from running in front of a car, gave back a wallet I found in a train, prevented a house from crashing, saved 2 airplanes from colliding, and I beat the invincible Vercingetorix. Okay, maybe not all of these actually happened, but Mr. Mustache was put to the sword that day.